It's a place that we can cry, and when we cry, we have a person that can answer our prayer no matter how it is. So even when a man cries to him, he has answered his prayer already. It's only requiring man to call upon his name so that he can answer. His ears are open so that he can hear your cry. No matter how it's going to look like, God is seeing your pains, but it's requiring you to cry so that he can give you the answer. A closed mouth is a closed destiny. As such, if you don't want your destiny to be closed, it's required of you to pray. That's the Bible speaking to us in Luke chapter 18, verses 1. It says that I'll be. It said, men always ought to pray and not to faint. And as such, it is pivotal for you and I to pray consistently. Even in our sleep, we're supposed to be praying all the time. Man is not expected to keep quiet. At all seconds and minutes and hours and days and years and months, it's required and pivotal for man to pray consistently without stopping. As such, when there is problem, there is always room and vacancy for a prayer person to be expected to dwell in that place. So never you cease praying, and never you cease entirely in your life to cease to pray. Darkness is there, and there is always light. When you see darkness, that shows that there is light. And when you see problem, there is always a place for prayer. The day problem will disappear, that's the day prayer will stop. But as far as there is problem, and as far as there is problem, it is a calling upon you and I to pray all the time. And as far as there is darkness, you and I are supposed to show for the light. The Bible is speaking to us that we are the light of the world. How can a man show for the light? A light is the only mechanism that has current that passes through it. Darkness does not have current, but light has current. When this thing is off, the reason why we are seeing this light, there is current that passes through it that gives light. But as such, this one will be like a bulb. When NEPA will close something here in one place, you will never see this light. The only thing that you'll be seeing is what bulb. But when there is a current passing through it, there will be a light. And how can a man access that kind of current? A man can access that kind of current through the studying of the word of the Lord and prayer. So when you stop praying that day, there will never be a current that will pass through you. And that is the songwriter that says that so out of my belly shall flow rivers of. So there must be a flowing consistently. Why? So that the current will emanate to give us light. When you don't study, give yourself into the schooling of the spirit by studying the word entirely consistently. I'm telling you, everything is rubbish in your life. When a man does not dwell in this Bible, the Bible looks like a normal book that we are seeing in this entire life. But I'm telling you, what is encapsulated in this Bible is more than things that we think about. The reason why our life, the earth entirely was created and factorized basically by the word of the Lord. In the beginning was the word. John chapter 1, verses 1. I was in the beginning was God. Everything was created out of the word. You are also created out of the word. Genesis chapter 2, verses 7. Bible was speaking to us that after God created a man, he breathed into the nostril of a man for a man to become a living soul. That breathing and the nostril of a man was the word installed inside of a man so that he can define his own purpose. When the man finds his purpose through studying the word of the Lord, you can never define your purpose and the reason why you are living outside the word of the Lord. Even Jesus Christ, when Jesus Christ came, he says that he sat and this book of the law was written about me, that I will set the captive free. He found his purpose. Even Jesus Christ, that he was the word, also goes and search through the word to know the reason why he came to earth. So it's only us men that will think that we can never exist without the world. No one exists without the world. Nothing on this earth that exists, that is existing outside the world, is a lie. Everything that was existing and everything that is existing that will be existing is outside the world. So as such, what are you living for? You only know the reason why you are living for when you search the world. The reason why the level of attraction in this life is because it's based on the level of the knowledge that you have. Your knowledge determines the value that is inside of you. You create value by the studying of the scripture and the word that you access entirely in life. You are valuable because of the level of the knowledge inside of you. As such, you can never be valuable. The reason why you are the way you are is because you have never elevated yourself and mount up like an eagle with a dimension knowledge. Until man access that revelational knowledge, everything that the man encapsulates inside his brain is what? Just like a lamp without a current. Until man journey through the place of prayer to generate himself so that he can convert the knowledge that he accessed inside of him to become like a current, he can never emanate what's called light entirely. So light is being created out of our staying in the intimate way and place. The Bible was speaking to us in the book of Psalm chapter 91. It says that he who dwells in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. There is a place that men have been created. That place that the men have been created is a place or a secret place. How is a secret place? And it take only when you are in that secret place, what are you doing? You are studying the word of the Lord. You are existing because you are studying the word. You are living by a word. There is something that is whispering inside of you all the time, telling you what you're supposed to be doing. If as such, when that thing stop, I'm telling you entirely, you are dead. There must be something coming inside of you. I was speaking to us that when men slept, the devil come and sow a seed. Don't you forget that even God said, come and sow a seed when men slept. When you are sleeping, when you play songs and music, have you ever remembered when your childhood old days, when you are small, when you after finishing playing ball, running with your parents outside, after finishing playing ball, when you sleep in the night, you begin saying what those things that you say, pass me ball, pass me ball, pass me ball in your dream. The same thing happened with the man that plays this kind of a sound in the night. When you play some messages in the night, throughout the night, you are sleeping, you'll be dreaming them. And as such, God is planting something inside of you. So it takes the word to plant something inside of a man, to give a man direction to be where he's supposed to be. Because the word is the compass that gives a man direction to his destiny. The word is what defines a man's destiny. The word is what structure how a man will think like as a man thinks. So it's what are you thinking? You're thinking upon a particular word inside of you. The word transform a man to become something else entirely. The reason why you are in school is because there is a word that has been put inside of you. You can never become a doctor until you join into a particular school called a school of medical student. And as such, that word that you listen all the time you are going to lecture transform you to become a doctor because you think like that. So what are you listening to? What you listen to determines who you are. The reason why you are perverted with darkness is because of what you are listening to is darkness. But the reason why you are perverted with something that is called light is the reason because whatever thing that you are listening to light. So the question is, what are you listening to? What have you give yourself access to? Whatever thing that you access, you give yourself access to determines who you're going to be, determine your structure, determine your mentality, determine your thinking, determine your mindset entirely. So your mindset is being fabricated by what you listen to all the time. How many times have you studied the scripture? How many times have you studied a book? How many times have we stayed in a particular secret place to pray and call the name Abba Father? No man will have this kind of routine activities and remain the same. Great men in the scripture, Abraham, David, Isaac, Jacob, these are men that also have that kind of mentality. The day that a man derives out of the mentality of God is the day he will become a wanderer in the soul of the earth. But until the day he finds himself in the secret place of the Lord and make God to become his driver of his life, as such, that man will know his destination and he will reach his destination without what? His stress. How is your life looking like? Your life is looking the way it is because you have never yet found the word. Christ is the word. God is the word. Let's make man in our own image and our own mentality. How much of the word do you have inside of you? Power is created by the word, epignosis, gnosko. So you can compare men by the level of the revelational knowledge that you access inside of you. And as such, I will leave you with this statement, a question that says, how much more of the word of the Lord that you have inside of you? Can we go with this song? There is a place where my heart cries for love.